Hello again and welcome to another one of my videos where I show you stuff in my stash. This is of the 172 scale F-86F Sabre in the colors and markings of the Japan Air Self-Defense Force, or JASDF. It's prompted by the request from LadyDeath to show more vintage Hasegawa kits. And by vintage Hasegawa kits, what LadyDeath is looking for is kits from Hasegawa using this particular kind of boxing, because this one evokes memories, as it does for me. So I built this kit way back when I was a teenager, young teenager. And I picked up another piece exactly like the one I built, this boxing. And so it'll be great fun for me to share this with you. So let's start off. The box art is, as I said, that classic Hasegawa style. A very nice painting here. And then it shows this particular JASDF fighter banking away to the right, and clouds in the background and all that. On the side, you have an image of the fighter in another set of markings that is available inside the kit. It's not a built-up model, it's just a profile shot. And then this is the view that you would get in the shop, on the shop shelf. Okay. And then on the side, stuff which you would have missed, right? HE51B. I think I have this, but not the float plane version. I think I have the land plane version. Then you have a UH-1D, a Fuji Trainer T1, Spitfire, and a P-51. I have later boxings of this kit, so not classics, but again, I'll be happy to show them to you. I have them in my stash. That's the other end. This thing used to have cellophane, but it has long since fallen off, which is why the box top is still in such good condition. Yeah. Okay, so let's pop this open. This is a lid and tray, so it's easy. And that's what you will see. The box, or the box has got this bag of parts, still sealed. Okay, so I'll put that aside, and then you have the instruction sheet here. Okay, so the instruction sheet is it's supplemented by this other sheet, right? So what Hasegawa did was they give you the old sheet from their earlier issue, and then they give you a later updated insert. It's supposed to be in line with maybe EU regulations or EC regulations. When they want to be exported to European countries, for example, you may have to provide more information. So that's how they solved it. They give you the old kit, but they add in this as an insert for information. I suspect it's on the box as well, but this is what you get. The old style instruction sheet. This one is different. It doesn't have a picture of the built-up model on the top edge. Okay, but it does have the markings options available. I think that's Blue Impulse. I'm not sure. I think it is. It looks like it. But those are standard Air Force JASDF aircraft. This is assigned to the 44 Fighter Bomb Wing. And this is assigned to Iruma Air Base. Okay. Oh, this is US. So that's a US markinged one. Unfortunately, I don't think you have US markings in this thing. So yeah, this is the old boxing. They just reused back the old instruction sheet. Okay. So yeah, unfortunately, Hasegawa tended to do that. Even back then, I think they were very conscious of making sure the trees don't get killed. You open it up, and there you see the parts plan, 3 main sprues, some instruction here. Okay. And then you have step 1. Assembly of fuselage, cockpit, and pilot. So the pilot figure goes inside here into this little U-shaped piece. And that's interesting, right? I think the seat has been molded integrally with the pilot. I can't remember. I built this. I can't remember. I suspect that was the case. Looks like it anyway. And then the two halves are joined together. The rudder has been molded integrally with the left side of the fuselage. Step 2 is the assembly of the main wing, tail, canopy, and other bits. It's called others, but you have the nose, which is a separate piece. Then you have the wings, air brakes, and then the canopy. And then they, of course, I like this. They provide information and description of exactly what it is that you're installing. Okay, and so they use things like air intake, which is that piece. Right, rather than calling it, nose piece or something like that, they actually call it for the aerospace engineering terminology. Assembly of nose wheel, assembly of main wheel to the underside. This is 3 and 4, but I think the pictures appear on this side, is it? Yeah, there you go. Assembling of underwing additional tank and sidewinder missile. Okay. So that's the aircraft after you finish stage 3, and then all the other bits go on board now with the doors and stuff like that. Okay, that's what you find. That's what you'll see. Very, very simple model. I remember building it and it was very, very simple. You could conceivably finish this in one afternoon, probably shorter, and then be painting it. Especially if it's a silver color. I mean, it would be a very straightforward color to paint. So let's open up the bag. This is the bag, still sealed. So this is going to be the first time that these parts hit fresh air ever since they left the factory in Shizuoka. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take the deco sheet out first. It's kind of like stuck. That shows you how long it's been inside there. Pull that out. Yeah, pull out the rest of the bits as well. It's a nice sound, isn't it? The sound of the bag and the sound of the transparency hitting the parts. Now, let's start with the transparency. I was always impressed with this piece. This is very, very nicely molded, very thin, virtually distortion free. There's some distortion. You can see it here on the side here, but very clear, right? And I think that's what matters most. And one piece, of course, so if you want to display it open, you've got to cut it open or get a replacement. Like this, you can tell there's really no distortion at all. Can you see the play of light? Again, I know some a viewer has commented that maybe I should be wiggling my stuff around so much. I apologize for that. I shouldn't be wiggling my parts around so much. But the thing is this, right? If I do that, you can see the play of light, so that you can see how smoothly it is all molded. Right? If there's any distortion, it's probably caused on the inside. But generally okay. I like this piece. Okay, so now we come to the main bits of the kit. Now this is an old Hasegawa kit, a child of the 60s. So this thing has got raised panel lines, and they're quite heavy. They're quite heavy panel lines actually. Fine, but quite more pronounced, if you know what I mean. I think that's a better word to use. More pronounced. So that's one view of that. Generally, plastic quality is still very, very good. Again, look at the play of light. You can see how the part is very smooth. Okay, and then you have the gun ports. This is raised. This entire panel is slightly raised, and it's ringed with rivets. Quite heavy actually, and I remember that from my build of it as well. So it might benefit from a bit of sanding. instrument panel combing, and then a bit of the ejector seat, I think, is molded onto the aircraft itself, which is why you had that little U-shaped piece for the pilot to sit on. Air brake doors, and these go onto these little recesses here. And then the wheels. Now, have a look at the wheels in close detail. I think, if I'm not wrong, you can see some detail. Yes. Again, this is what I like about videos, right? You can move them around and you can actually see how that works. Right, and the nose wheel, little spokes as well, all reproduced. Main gear struts and a nose wheel strut. Good. Okay, so that's that sprue. Put that here. And then we have this next sprue up. Now these are the pieces which go as kind of like wing inserts. So let's do these two sprues together. You see, that's the right wing, the starboard wing. And then that piece goes like that. Okay. Pitot tube has already been molded on. Tail planes. Sidewinder missiles. If I'm not mistaken, these are the early ones, right? The AIM-9Bs or Cs or Ds. These are the early ones. Okay. A bit of flash. But the wings are commendably thin for this scale. And a bit of sanding and chamfering might actually make them a little bit appear a little bit thinner. Nice sidewinder rails provided. Let's look at the upper surface of the wings. I'll speak a little bit about the wings later, but let's move on and finish off the other sprue first. Here we have the nose intake, that distinctive characteristic look of the F-86, right? That snarling open mouth. That's been neatly reproduced here. And then you have the wing tanks. And then you have our good friend, the pilot, who has already been molded integrally with his seat. Okay. That's one way of doing it. I've never really seen it done like that. And then that's that U-shaped bin that he sits in. Right there. Okay. And these are the wing inserts. Not much in the way of wheel well detail. Because the wheels mount straight into this. Okay. Okay, so anyway, that's that. Very simple, straightforward. I think there's a phrase for this, workman-like kit. You should build up into something really basic and solid looking. As I said, you should be able to finish basic assembly within an hour or so, including painting the pilot and painting the interior. Now, I wanted to talk about the wings. And I think this is where, okay, I may get this wrong, but this is what I know. JASDF Sabres are F-86F models. And the F-86F models, which were used by the JASDF, I think the first initial models were, in fact, the majority of them were built by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, and they had certain unique features. The JASDF F-86F40s, F-86s, had a wing which was different. They had the automatic slats restored. This helped to improve dogfighting. They had the 6'3" wing. So I think the chord was increased by 6 inches at the wing root and by 3 inches here. So it's 6'3". That helped to increase low speed handling, improve low speed handling. And then the wing was also extended by 12 inches. So that enabled the aircraft to become a very agile dogfighter. I'm trying to recall what I read. So basically this is supposed to be like, you know, the JASDF fighters were supposed to be like the ultimate sabers, right, of the F-86 range. Bigger wings and with the automatic slats. Now, question. Does the wing actually show the F-86 wing slats? I don't know. Okay, but I think it does show the correct length and the correct depth. I tried to search on the internet to find out whether this was the case. I couldn't find anything, but I think these are correct. These are correct for this, which makes these actually quite an unusual F-86. Not that easy to find. 6.3 wings and the automatic slats and the extended wings in this scale. Okay, I may be wrong. Please don't shoot me if I or whatever. Just share with us if you know any information regarding this particular kit and whether or not it is accurate in that regard, that it does have the correct kind of saber wings. Sounds to me as if I'm stirring up something which may end up being a bit of a controversy, but that's not the intention. I know it is one of the questions that I ask myself when I look at kits. I wonder whether or not it has the correct wing, especially for the F-86 range. Let's move on and let's end off by looking at the decals. No USAF markings are provided. The only markings you have are for the JASDF, and you have two main markings options. One is for 000 and one is for 831, and then you have the rudder markings, instrument panel, okay, and then all the some stenciling is provided, and then you have these the rising sun, well, not the rising sun, sorry about that, the Hinomaru, the red discs that represent the JASDF. Now yellowed. Okay, so I do need to make sure that I put this under the sun lamp, or not sun lamp, but put it as under the UV lamp just to make sure that see whether I can save these. But if not, I should be able to find some decent JASDF saber decals to replace these. Then again, of course, if it's not the correct wing, then of course I'm free to go and try and do something else with it. But I would really like to build this as a JASDF marked aircraft. This would be nice. The saber shape has always been classic for me. So in JASDF markings, really nice. Okay, so that's the kit. Thank you very much for joining me on this little exploration. I hope this was fun. It was fun for me. It's always fun to share on a little model kits that I have in my stash, which is why I do these videos. The intention is not to rile people up. The intention is not to stir anything. And yeah, sometimes I do ask funny questions like about the wing. It's not intended to go and create all kinds of disputes or anything else. It's just basically to ask a question, you know. And if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. And frankly speaking, I would just go ahead and build this as a JASDF machine anyway. Okay. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope this was fun. Until my next video, stay safe. Watch those knife blades. Paint in a well-ventilated location. And if you have any suggestions, if you have any proposals, requests, demands for certain model kits that you would maybe want me to look for, open up and talk about, by all means, please just drop a note. Okay. Until my next video, I will see you again and take care.